During its original run from 1959 to 1964, let me take you through some of the most spine-tingling episodes. In The Hitchhiker, Inga Stevens gave a haunting performance as a woman pursued by a mysterious figure on a cross-country drive. Anne Francis mesmerized audiences in The After Hours, where she played a woman who discovers an unsettling truth about her identity in a department store. And who could forget Eye of the Beholder, featuring Donna Douglas in a shocking commentary on beauty standards that still resonates today. The early 1960s brought us more remarkable performances. Barbara Nichols starred in 22, a chilling tale about a dancer haunted by recurring nightmares of a hospital morgue. Then there's the heart-wrenching Long-Distance Call, where a grandmother's love transcends death itself. As the series progressed, the stories became even more daring. Anne Francis returned in Jezebel, a dark tale of love and witchcraft. Maggie McNamara delivered an unforgettable performance in Ring-a-Ding Girl, while Gladys Cooper brought tears to viewers' eyes in the haunting Night Call. The final season gave us some of the most powerful episodes, including Queen of the Nile with Anne Blyth, and The Masks, featuring Virginia Gregg in a story of poetic justice that remains one of the series' most talked-about endings. These women didn't just appear in these episodes. They carried them. Their performances helped establish The Twilight Zone as more than just a science fiction show. It was a mirror reflecting the complexities of the human condition, often through the eyes of its female characters. Now let's meet these talented performers. Inga Stevens, a Swedish-American beauty with mesmerizing screen presence. Her story is one of both triumph and tragedy. In 1957, her break finally comes, starring opposite the legendary Bing Crosby in Man on Fire. But it was television that would truly make her a household name, particularly with The Farmer's Daughter, earning her an Emmy nomination and capturing America's heart. But perhaps her most unforgettable performances came from two haunting episodes of The Twilight Zone. In The Hitchhiker, she masterfully portrayed Nan Adams, a woman tormented by a mysterious figure who seems to follow her across the country. Then, in The Lateness of the Hour, she brought to life Jana, trapped in a house of artificial beings, questioning the very nature of reality and humanity. Behind the camera, though, Stevens fought private battles. Despite her radiant smile and undeniable talent, depression cast a long shadow over her life. At just 35, her light was extinguished far too soon, leaving behind a legacy of powerful performances that continue to captivate audiences today. Cloris Leachman was more than just an actress. She was a force of nature who could make you laugh one moment and move you to tears the next. From terrifying audiences in The Twilight Zone as the mother of a supernatural child who held an entire town hostage with his powers, to winning hearts and an Oscar for her touching portrayal of Ruth Popper in The Last Picture Show, Leachman's range was simply extraordinary. But it was her comedic genius that truly made her a household name. Who could forget her Emmy-winning role as Phyllis Lindstrom, the delightfully neurotic neighbor on The Mary Tyler Moore Show? Her character was so beloved that she even got her own spin-off series. And then there's her unforgettable turn as Frau Blücher in Young Frankenstein. Just saying her name makes horses neigh. With her impeccable timing and that stern, mysterious presence, she turned what could have been a simple character into an iconic part of comedy history. What made Leachman special wasn't just her versatility. It was how she could dive deep into each role. Whether she was making you laugh out loud or breaking your heart, she wasn't afraid to be ridiculous, vulnerable, or downright scary. And that's what made her one of the most remarkable performers of her generation. Step into the twilight of television history as we remember the remarkable Gladys Cooper, a British acting legend who left an indelible mark on one of TV's most iconic series, The Twilight Zone. Before she entered this fifth dimension, Cooper had already conquered British theatre and Hollywood, earning 3 Oscar nominations. But it's her spine-tingling appearances in Rod Serling's masterpiece that captured the imagination of a new generation. In Nothing in the Dark, she brilliantly portrayed Wanda Dunn, a woman whose paralyzing fear of death kept her locked away from the world. Who would have thought death would come knocking in the form of a young, handsome Robert Redford? Her haunting performance continued in Passage on the Lady Anne, where she joined fellow British acting royalty on a mysterious voyage that sailed beyond the boundaries of reality. But perhaps her most chilling role came in Night Call, where she played Elva Keane, a bedridden woman receiving mysterious phone calls from beyond the grave. The twist? The caller was none other than her deceased fiancé, reaching across the barrier between life and death. These unforgettable performances showcased Cooper's extraordinary range, cementing her legacy not just as a classical actress, but as a master of the supernatural and psychological drama that defined the Twilight Zone. Carol Burnett made an unexpected appearance in one of the most surprising episodes of the Twilight Zone. In 1962, Rod Serling wrote an episode called Cavender is Coming, specifically for Burnett. She played Agnes Grepp, a lovably clumsy woman whose life gets turned upside down by a not-so-skilled guardian angel, where she won her first Emmy. The Twilight Zone episode actually included bits from her real life, like the time she got fired from her job as a movie usher. Talk about turning life's lemons into comedy gold. Of course, this was just the beginning. A few years later, she launched The Carol Burnett Show, running for 11 incredible years and snagging 23 Emmy Awards. From The Twilight Zone to TV royalty, Carol Burnett proved that sometimes the best path to success is just being uniquely, hilariously yourself. Step into the glamorous yet mysterious world of Anne Blyth, a captivating figure from Hollywood's golden age. You might know her as the vengeful daughter Veda in Mildred Pierce, a role that earned her an Oscar nomination in 1945. But there's an intriguing chapter in her career that deserves a closer look. In 1964, Blyth stepped into one of her most haunting roles in The Twilight Zone's Queen of the Nile. At just 35, she masterfully portrayed Pamela Morris, a mysterious movie star who seemed to defy the laws of aging. But behind her timeless beauty lay a dark secret that would send chills down viewers' spines. As the episode unfolds, a curious reporter begins to unravel Morris's impossible history. The truth? She was using an ancient Egyptian scarab beetle to steal the life force from others, keeping herself eternally young while her victims withered away. Blyth's performance was simply mesmerizing. She brought an otherworldly quality to the role, perfectly capturing the essence of a woman who had lived for generations behind a mask of perpetual youth. This role, so different from her earlier dramatic work, showed just how versatile Blyth was as an actress. It's become one of the Twilight Zone's most memorable episodes, proving that sometimes the most beautiful faces hide the darkest secrets. Elizabeth Montgomery, a remarkable actress whose magic extended far beyond her most famous role. Born in 1933 to actor Robert Montgomery, she would go on to cast a spell over American television for 5 decades. While most of us remember her as the charming witch Samantha Stevens in Bewitched, twitching her nose and enchanting audiences from 1964 to 1972, there's so much more to her story. Before she became everyone's favorite witch, Montgomery delivered an unforgettable performance in The Twilight Zone. In the 1961 episode 2, she played a survivor in a post-apocalyptic world, barely speaking a word yet conveying volumes through her expressions alone. But it was after Bewitched that Montgomery truly showcased her range. She fearlessly tackled challenging roles in TV movies like A Case of Rape and The Legend of Lizzie Borden, earning Emmy nominations and proving she was far more than just a sitcom star. Beyond the screen, she was a passionate activist and philanthropist, using her platform to make real-world changes. Sadly, Elizabeth Montgomery left us too soon, passing away from colon cancer in 1995 at age 62. But her legacy lives on, not just as the beloved Samantha, but as a versatile actress who brought magic to everything she touched. Anne Francis was a captivating presence in Hollywood, leaving an indelible mark on both the silver screen and television. Rising to stardom in the 1950s, she graced major films like Bad Day at Black Rock, Blackboard Jungle, and most notably, the groundbreaking science fiction classic Forbidden Planet. But it's her unforgettable appearances in The Twilight Zone that truly showcase her remarkable range as an actress. In The After Hours, she brilliantly portrayed Marcia White, a woman whose simple shopping trip for a thimble leads her to a mysterious 9th floor of a department store. As the story unfolds, we discover the shocking truth. Marcia isn't human at all, but a mannequin experiencing her month-long turn at living among people. Then there's her haunting performance in Jezebel, where she played a love-struck woman who makes a dangerous bargain with a witch to win back her former love. The price? She's cursed to transform into a leopard every night, a role that perfectly demonstrated Francis's ability to balance vulnerability with darkness. These performances in Rod Serling's legendary series, combined with her impressive film career, cement Anne Francis's legacy as one of television's most memorable and versatile actresses of her era. Julie Newmar, a mesmerizing talent who danced her way into Hollywood history. While most remember her iconic portrayal of Catwoman in the 1960s Batman series, there's a deliciously wicked role that truly showcased her dramatic range. In 1963, The Twilight Zone gave us one of television's most captivating devils. Newmar played Miss Devlin, a stunning female Satan who turned the tables on a ruthless tycoon's sexist assumptions. When he wished to restart his life, she offered him exactly what he wanted, with a twist. Her beauty became the perfect weapon, as this arrogant businessman never saw his downfall coming from a woman he underestimated. It was a masterclass in subverting expectations, proving Newmar was much more than just a beautiful face. She was a force to be reckoned with, both on screen and off. Before she became the beloved Ellie Mae Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies, Donna Douglas left an unforgettable mark in television history with her haunting performance in The Twilight Zone. In the groundbreaking episode Eye of the Beholder, viewers were kept in suspense as Douglas played Janet Tyler, a woman whose bandaged face remained hidden until the episode's shocking conclusion. When those bandages finally came off, audiences discovered that her beautiful features were considered horrifically deformed in a world where everyone had pig-like faces. It's amazing how this single performance, along with her charming role as the critter-loving Ellie Mae, would cement Douglas's place in TV history forever. Maggie McNamara's story is one of Hollywood's most bittersweet tales. In 1953, she burst onto the silver screen in The Moon is Blue, captivating audiences with a performance so powerful it earned her an Oscar nomination. But sometimes the brightest stars burn out the quickest. After starring in hits like Three Coins in the Fountain and Prince of Players, McNamara's promising career began to fade. Yet she wasn't done leaving her mark on entertainment history. In 1963, she gave us one last unforgettable performance in The Twilight Zone's Ring-a-Ding Girl, playing Bunny Blake, a movie star who receives a mysterious ring from her hometown fans. McNamara brought to life one of the show's most haunting tales. This role, with its supernatural twists and turns, would become her lasting legacy in television history. Ida Lupino, the trailblazing English-American talent who shattered Hollywood's glass ceiling. It's the 1960s, and in an industry dominated by men, Lupino wasn't just content with being in front of the camera. She stepped behind it, becoming the only woman to direct an episode of the original Twilight Zone. But here's what makes her story even more extraordinary. She is the only person ever to both act in and direct episodes of this iconic series. As an actress, she brilliantly portrayed Barbara Jean Trenton in The 16mm Shrine, bringing to life a faded film star, desperately clinging to her past glory through old movie reels. The performance was hauntingly beautiful, capturing the essence of Hollywood's bittersweet nature, but it's her directing work that truly showcases her mastery of storytelling. In The Masks, she crafted a deliciously dark tale about a dying patriarch who forces his greedy relatives to wear hideous masks that mirror their ugly souls. The episode remains one of the series' most memorable, proving that Lupino's talent knew no bounds. In an era when female directors were virtually non-existent, Ida Lupino didn't just open doors, she kicked them down, leaving an indelible mark on television history. In the golden age of Hollywood, there was a remarkable talent who left an indelible mark on entertainment. Yet many might not know her name, Virginia Gregg. For over 4 decades, her distinctive voice and versatile acting skills made her one of the industry's most reliable character actresses. Perhaps her most chilling contribution to cinema was giving voice to the infamous Mother in Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece Psycho. That haunting performance was so effective that she returned for both sequels, bringing Norman Bates' twisted maternal figure to life through voice alone. But it's her unforgettable appearance in The Twilight Zone that truly showcases her acting prowess. In the episode The Masks, she portrayed Emily Harper, trapped in a nightmare scenario where a dying, Wealthy man forces his greedy family to wear masks reflecting their true nature. Greg's character had to don the mask of a spineless doormat, bringing to life the painful irony of a woman whose obedience masked her true self. Though often in supporting roles, Virginia Gregg was what industry insiders called an actress's actress. Her ability to transform into any character, whether seen or just heard, made her one of Hollywood's most valuable yet unsung talents. In the realm of television history, few performances capture the essence of mystery and regret, quite like Diana Hyland's unforgettable role in The Twilight Zone. Before her life was tragically cut short at 41, Hyland left an indelible mark on entertainment, particularly in the haunting episode Spur of the Moment. A young, wealthy debutante named Anne Henderson, galloping through misty fields, suddenly pursued by a mysterious figure in black on horseback. The terror in her eyes is palpable. But here's where The Twilight Zone works its magic. That menacing rider is actually Anne's future self, desperately trying to prevent her younger version from making a decision that will haunt her forever. This masterful performance, playing both the innocent youth and the bitter older self, showcased Hyland's incredible range. Though her career was cut short by cancer, her Emmy-winning talent and this ghostly tale of regret and destiny continue to captivate audiences, proving that some performances truly are timeless. A chilling tale from 1961's The Twilight Zone, starring the mesmerizing Lily Darvas. This Hungarian-American actress might not be a household name today, but her performance as Granny Bales in Long Distance Call sent shivers down viewers' spines. In this unforgettable episode, Darvas played a grandmother whose love transcended death itself. Through a simple toy telephone, she reached out from beyond the grave to communicate with her beloved grandson Billy. Her portrayal was so haunting, so believably disturbing, that it helped cement this episode as one of the Twilight Zone's most memorable stories. That's the magic of Lily Darvas, bringing European theatrical grace to American television's darkest corners. Barbara Nichols, the New York-born showgirl turned actress, became synonymous with the blonde bombshell archetype. But it was her chilling performance in The Twilight Zone that would send shivers down viewers' spines for generations to come. Episode 22, February 10, 1961. Nichols plays Liz Powell, a dancer pushed to her limits by exhaustion. In her hospital bed, she's tormented by a nightmare that just won't let go. A mysterious nurse with an eerie smile beckons her with the bone-chilling words, "Room for one more, honey," leading her toward the morgue. Here's where reality and nightmare blur. After leaving the hospital, Liz finds herself at the airport, about to board Flight 22, and then she hears it. Those same haunting words, the same sinister invitation. In a moment of panic or perhaps divine intervention, she runs. Behind her, Flight 22 erupts into flames. Barbara Nichols may have played many roles throughout her career, but it was this spine-tingling performance that would cement her legacy in television history. Her portrayal of Liz Powell reminds us that sometimes our nightmares might just be trying to tell us something. A sweltering New York City, abandoned and desolate, where the sun never sets and hope melts away like ice on burning concrete. This was the haunting scene that actress Lois Nettleton brought to life in one of the Twilight Zone's most unforgettable episodes, The Midnight Sun. From 1927 to 2008, Nettleton graced our screens and stages, but it was her role as Norma in this 1961 masterpiece that truly showcased her incredible talent. Imagine being one of the last two people on Earth, watching as our planet spirals helplessly toward the sun. That's exactly what Nettleton portrayed, and she did it with such raw intensity that viewers could almost feel the suffocating heat through their TV screens. What's fascinating is that the grueling conditions weren't just acting. The studio was deliberately kept hot and uncomfortable during filming, adding an extra layer of authenticity to Nettleton's performance. As Norma, she desperately seeks comfort in her art while caring for her elderly neighbor, all while facing the inevitable doom of a world literally burning away. But Lois wasn't just a one-hit wonder. She was what she proudly called a gypsy actress, appearing in countless shows from the Alfred Hitchcock Hour to Gunsmoke, bringing her unique touch to every role she played. Yet it's her portrayal in The Midnight Sun, with its shocking twist ending, that continues to captivate audiences decades later, cementing her legacy in television history. Let's explore the fascinating career of Vera Miles, a remarkable actress whose talent left an indelible mark on both film and television. Born in 1929, Miles became a powerhouse performer with nearly 200 credits to her name across a career spanning almost 5 decades. While she's known for many roles, her connection with Alfred Hitchcock is particularly intriguing. Hitchcock originally had big plans for Miles, wanting her to star in his masterpiece Vertigo. However, fate had other plans when she became pregnant, leading to Kim Novak taking the role instead. But this wasn't the end of their collaboration. Miles would go on to deliver an unforgettable performance as Lila Crane in Hitchcock's Psycho in 1960, a role she revisited 23 years later in Psycho 2. Speaking of 1960, that same year brought us one of television's most chilling performances. Miles starred in a legendary episode of The Twilight Zone called Mirror Image. A composed woman named Millicent Barnes, waiting at a bus depot on a rainy night, but something's not right. The ticket agent and washroom attendant keep insisting she's done things she hasn't. As the story unfolds, Millicent becomes convinced that her doppelganger from a parallel universe is trying to replace her. This episode masterfully taps into our primal fear of losing our identity to something sinister. If you enjoyed this dive into the Twilight Zone, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating stories from Hollywood's golden age.